A representative in Rhode Island, Patricia Morgan, tweeted this: "I had a black friend. I liked her, and I think she liked me too. But now she is hostile and unpleasant. I am sure I didn't do anything to her except be white. Is that what teachers and our political leaders really want for our society? Divide us because of our skin color? Hashtag CRT." That is a state representative who had a black friend at one point. JR, why does CRT keep coming between friendships like this?
Well, because black people are trying to destroy and divide the country. Because black folks are in charge of the country. Black folks have always been in charge of the country. In fact, the reason that the judicial system is obviously slanted against people of color in the country, and always has been, is because black people, because they divide the. Wait a second, none of this makes any sense. This is so weird that you can continue to blame the people that you've always held under your thumb or made sure that the system doesn't give them any opportunities to, and then you blame them for it because supremacy. So you might get to it, but she had a black friend. That's the first. You had this one black friend.
Well, she'll finesse that, but yeah, as many people point out, Patrick Claiborne says my favorite part of this tweet is A. That is good. Okay, really fast before we move into her updated comments, because she was reached for comment following this. If you have to right now, JR, you have to. We always try to have our opinions and statements be based in fact. I'm gonna turn that off for just a little bit. You have to bet every dollar you have that black woman that she was friends with, did she actually like her?
Did the black woman like her? Or did she like the black friend?
Either. I don't think this was a real friendship. I think this was someone who was near her, sort of. I think that that's probably the extent of it.
And that cordial conversation, even if they were friends that she would have seen, they see each other all the time and talk, and it's nice. And now she's kind of over it now. What happened is your one black friend discovered something about you that disqualifies you as a friend. So if you're a Jewish American and you had family that was lost in the Holocaust, and then you find out that your friend that you've been cool with the whole time is a Nazi, I don't think it's unfair for that person to go, well, I think I'm gonna reassess my friendship with you because your belief system says that I shouldn't exist and neither should my family that has died violently at the hands of who you presume to be your favorite leader of all time. So that person doesn't have the choice to reevaluate their friendship when they've discovered that you don't value them as a human being. You don't value them as a living person. So I have to continue to be friends with you to preserve your feelings because you don't give a damn about my life.
Or at the very least, don't value the historic experiences of black Americans and don't want people to learn it. And you want to cover up atrocities and those sorts of things. I feel like that's totally justified in bothering someone in the modern era. But let's give a little bit more updated information from Patricia Morgan. So she was asked by, I believe, the Boston Globe about the negative reaction to tweets. She says that it's yet more proof of the insidious nature of critical race theory. Twitter's a cesspool anyway. So because people reacted negatively, that proves that critical race theory is bad. Well, people react negatively to me all the time. Does that prove that critical race theory is good? How does that work exactly? So she introduced legislation last year banning the teaching of divisive concepts and making anyone, quote, feel discomfort, guilty, anguish, or any other distress on account of their race or sex. So this isn't just a position she has. She literally was one of many Republicans that have tried to be a part of this culture of canceling the teaching of history. That's what she did. Thankfully, it didn't work. She says that she defines critical race theory because it's up to her as judging people not as individuals, but by immutable characteristics like race and ethnicity. It is using the worst kinds of racial stereotypes on people in our society. So she gets to say what critical race theory is, and what she says it is wrong. Also, she says that teaching something is immutable about race or whatever, that's the worst kind of racial stereotypes. I feel like there are also worse. Anyway, she says she has more than one friend who is not white, so that's good. We'll see. Well, hold on, let's update that at the end of the week. She declined to identify the friend she tweeted about, but said that she had noticed the friend becoming distant. That friend subscribes to what Morgan calls critical race theory, she says. Morgan believes that it's critical race theory itself, rather than Morgan's opposition to it, that turned the friend against her and perhaps other white people. So it's not that she's against critical race theory, it's just that it exists. This friend was just in, so wait, is the friend a kid in school being taught critical race theory? Why would it affect her now? And from Morgan's point of view, it has turned her not only against Morgan, but against all white people. I think that this person might just be a racist, actually. Simpler explanation.
Many people don't realize it. They don't realize their biases. They don't realize where they've been affected. They don't realize the things that they've heard over and over again that have permeated their brains and gives them this outlook on the world that she thinks this person, her former black friend, is somehow subservient to her and owes her a friendship. Yeah. She doesn't owe you a damn thing. She owes you nothing, white lady who thinks that this one black friend of yours is supposed to somehow be your placed black friend right in front of you. I get a black friend just like everyone else gets a black friend, right? And then I get to keep them on a farm and maybe they work for me. Why is it you think you deserve a black friend? There's still an ownership process in some people's brains that think this person needs me because I'm a superior being. And they don't realize that's how their thought process works. If a white person said, I ascribe to what I've learned with race theory and things that happened in our country and learning about it, do you go, I had a white friend once that's totally went black. Would you say that? Would you say that about your white friend who figured something out? No, you only start putting race and that she's a black person who finally started thinking about CRT because she's a black woman. You wouldn't say that about your former white friends.
Exactly, yeah. I'm white. I don't want to be a friend. I guess critical race theory ruined everything. No, it's just nonsense.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.